Welcome to Beauty Business. This is Celeste. Today's podcast, it is for Mother's Day. Yesterday was Mother's Day, and I wanted to do a special episode. So I love keeping it real AF. And today's episode, it's about motherhood and business. Is there such thing as a balance? The realities of things. And I wanted to do this real, candid episode. I don't think I'm going to swear, so I'll try not to swear on this one. Because I think it's so important that we quit the fake BS that it's the same for all of us. Being a parent, not just for mothers, but also anybody who's in the parenthood type of situation, it can be very challenging. It can have its ebbs and flows like anything in life. And I wanted to really have a true, real, from heart to heart conversation on this topic, especially after this last few months events, an event that altered and changed my life and also my perspective as a mother. And I'm not going to be talking about that, but I will be talking about how to navigate when your motherhood role, you may be feeling like, maybe I'm not doing enough. Am I doing too much? We have this whole tug of war situation that happens at times, not all the time, but sometimes in our, business, especially through growth seasons. And I really welcome you to keep an open mind, to take what serves you, leave the rest as always. And let's get to it. I am a mom of 3. So hello, I am Celeste. I have 3 kids. I have a 2-year-old, I have a 8-year-old, and I have a 14-year-old. So I have one going into high school in September. I have another one in, elementary school, and my baby. And my life has drastically changed. I no longer have any support system. So I have nobody to call. I don't have a babysitter. I don't got nobody to come take care of my kid for me. It's really up to me. My husband and I, we have a relationship where it's give and take. And for the past couple years, he really took the front and center of really being the main one on call for our kids. And now that his business has blossomed and bloomed super fast pace, and right now it really requires a lot of attention from him, I have taken the other role of going back into being the primary one on call for our children. And I wanted to share this because I really think in part, sometimes we hear I know I have the privilege of having a partner, and when you have a partner, it can be easier, but also it is a partnership. It hasn't always been like this. There's times where I'm primary role or I'm secondary on call for our children because someone always has to be there for them, right? And I was traveling. If you don't know, I used to be a traveling educator. I was traveling all the time, every month. So we have switched roles. And I'm going to keep it real. It's hard. It's hard not having a babysitter. It's hard not having somebody to help me. I don't have any support right now, and I'm trying to do all the things, right? So last week I sent my 2 emails, and my mom is visiting here from Spain. I see her every 3 to 5 years. So as you can imagine right now, my life sounds a little chaotic, and I'm keeping it real AF because it's gonna happen. Nobody does the podcast where they say, hey, my life is chaos. I'm a mommy and, an educator and business owner. And this is how I'm navigating it. And I love sharing that in my voice, through my voice in this podcast, because I want to keep it real with you. That's the stuff that nobody's seeing on social. And I love sharing it here on the podcast because this is where we get to have a conversation, just you and I, heart to heart. Maybe you're in the car driving, going to go get your groceries. Maybe you're in the car waiting for your kids to get out of school. Or you're just having some time to go on a run or a walk if, we're that lucky to have time for that. And as you can imagine, so how can I help you? How do I navigate to release the podcast episodes, to do my email marketing, which I have started back up, I'm doing a virtual class next week, and all these additional things that are going down the pipeline for my other secondary business. I have to do a presentation for a grant next week. So there's lots of things, right, going on. And I'm sharing this because this may sound overwhelming to you, but this is the reality of being a business owner and of everything I'm doing. And I wanted to share this with you today for this Mother's Day episode because you are not alone. I don't have the answers, all the answers for you. I do have what's working for me. I have I'm just here for you to let you know that a lot of be navigating through the motherhood and business side of things, it's a ebbs and flows, ups and downs, and it's just pretty much doing the best you can to handle it as it comes. I know everybody talks about, right? Like, like batch, like pre-record things and put it out there. But that's not always going to work, right? Because as life continues to change us as mothers and as humans, we start evolving as well. And what we resonated with our content, it starts to change as well. Like it kind of grows up with us. And I'm actually going to do a post today. Today is May 9th, and it's going to be about the importance of I'm going to be posting less to give more value, because for me, that's what's more important. It's not about buying followers. I could buy 20, 100,000 followers. I'm not going to. I'm really happy with the following I have. I have worked hard to be where I'm at today, and you have too. And I know sometimes we can feel like, are we doing enough? Right? We see there's other beauty industry educators, our mothers are doing amazing. Their following is growing. And sometimes when we're babies, right? We're babies with baby following, or we're not accomplishing as much. We're like, are we doing enough? I should be doing more. And we feel this pressure from all over that we need to do more. And let me talk a little bit to give you a little insight. I can't go into everything, but so I was in a meeting I'm a part of a diversity, equity, and inclusion group. I'm in a committee for Amy Porterfield, and shout out to everybody on there. Beautiful, beautiful, amazing, impactful meeting we had. But I realized something, that it's not just mothers, it's us as parents, that we as business owners can't do the same thing everybody does. And I have to be honest on here that I've never been in that position until this past 6 months, when I truly lost support and I have nobody except my husband to take care of the babies. And right now he's at work, and, we have to clean and cook and all the other stuff we do. Well, I don't cook. Let's be real. I don't cook. I go grocery shopping and do other things that, as a parent I need to do. And I started thinking like, wow, you know what? As a parent, if we truly are one of those that don't have the support, how the heck do we get everything done? So with that heartfelt openness that I'll just share with you, let's get to the good stuff. Some things to think about, some of the tools that you can utilize. First, what can you get done more of that's not perfect? And why am I saying this? Okay, we want everything perfect. I want no grammatical errors. I want everything to be done properly, and, the wording and all the things. And, there's only so much I can do that. But if I focus too much on getting that stuff all perfected, I would never do anything. Keeping it real with you. I have opt-ins. I have opt-ins in English and Spanish that have, sequence emails that come afterwards automatically, right? But sometimes for me, it's just more easier to, like today, I'm going to write an email out to everybody in my newsletter, and that's easier for me to go with my goal of the week. And I'm going to pre-schedule one additional email for next week, and that's all I can do today, and that is well enough. So first tool out of my toolbox, do it the best way it fits you, not what everybody or all the pros are saying. If my method does not work for you and pre-scheduling all of it is better for you, go ahead and do that. And I think it's so important that we start utilizing all the tips and information and education that we get utilize the tools to make it our own, make it fit your lifestyle, make it fit what your life needs out of it. I think for me, it's so much more important that I get the content that's going to bring value to people's life, however best and fast as possible as I can, rather than focusing on having it just as pretty or look the same or look like everybody else's content, right? Even with Celeste TV, that one, I'm going to start, my mom's leaving on Thursday and I love her and everything, but, I don't get to see my biological mom that much, right? So my second thing of the toolbox is like, life's going to happen. Prioritize what needs to be prioritized. Right now for me is spending time with my mom. So she is, she's getting older. She's having some health issues. I know she's not going to be traveling all the time. She took an 18-hour flight to come see me and my sister. And that's very important to me in my life. And if I am happy, right? If you are happy in your life, that's going to flow everywhere else. And this past almost month that I've been with her has been so therapeutic for me because nobody knows what I'm dealing with right now inside as a mother and as a woman. It has been really hard. And she has been able to help me feel safe and help me feel re-inspired and help me feel more empathy for other humans, not just me, but for you, my audience, for you, my clients, for everybody out there. It's not just about me, and it's not about me ever, but really focus more empathy towards other people. She has helped me grow, and even in the way that my content and everything that's coming up in the next week, I'm going to start doing everything totally different, was inspired by this time of slowing down. And, with Instagram and Facebook and TikTok and Pinterest saying we need to create more, there is a beauty, in slowing down. If you are well, if you are happy in your life, you can transmit that in your life. You are not forced to be like everybody else. You probably got in business because you have your own unique voice. You have your own unique special salsa, special sauce to give out to the world. And I really truly feel that all that grows, all the opportunities and life and abundance that comes to our lives, it comes from within. If we're able to be acceptant, if we're able to have an open heart for the opportunities, if we're able to always be a student. And for me, that's something very important. And with that, let's go to another tool for my toolkit with navigating this whole motherhood thing is that, hey, I may not be able to take education right now. Right now, I'm really focused on, I'm doing a course right now on digital marketing to be Google certified for digital marketing and e-commerce. And I'm also doing another course that I'm finishing this Thursday that I've been really focused on, which is really on business. And it's from the business administration, from small business administration. And that was very important to me because if I'm going to be guiding other people, especially, I have my businesses, my husband has his business, which I got, and I mentor other people. I need to be up to date and more knowledgeable on all the things that are going on and changes. And that's part of my education. And maybe I am not taking education like everybody else is, right? And has this ever happened to you where you're like, oh my gosh, everybody's taking all this education on this topic and I'm doing something completely different? Mi amiga, I'm here to tell you, you are doing amazing. We're all different and we all have certain areas of expertise and all of us have areas of improvement that are different and varies from one another. So remember, you are focusing on your train, focus on your business, focus on yourself. It's not so much all the time about doing the same thing like everybody else. That has really served me and I hope that really serves you. And lastly, to end this beautiful episode on motherhood and business is that remember to stay a student and to have that love and compassion and grace for yourself first. What do I mean by that? Sometimes we're going to feel guilty, keeping it real AF. I have traveled and my kid has gotten a toothache and he needs to have go to the dentist, has gotten a fever, and he needs to be taken to the doctor. My husband's at home taking care of all this stuff, or things are coming up. My husband taking them to birthday parties while I was traveling, to educate and earn my money another way, or a different opportunity for myself and for my business. And sometimes I felt guilty. I try not to feel guilty, but sometimes I did. And sometimes I used to wonder all the time, like, oh my gosh, am I giving too much to my career and not to my family? And I am so grateful for all the opportunities I took, even if it took me away from my family and my kids, because it has made me who I am today. And I want to share with you that there are times where my kids come first and my business is second. I still always give 120% to my clientele and to anybody I service, but I am not 100% of the time just focusing on growing. I am not 100% of the time just focusing on growth. I really treat my business, if I can be candid and share with you, as a freaking plant, as a flower. It needs seasons. It needs time to be watered, of course. It needs time to be allowed to just rest, right? Like the sun and the air, everything to do its magic, right? For the flowers and the bees to pollinate that plant so it can grow. It's not always like just one phase. I think from my perspective and just sharing with you, our business has different cycles. And if just like as being a mother, right, our kids go through different stages where they need more attention from us, and other times where they don't, where they can be a little bit more let go to be free. And I think it's so important that we start thinking about that we don't have to do things exactly like everybody else, right? You get to be your own version of what motherhood means to you. And the same thing goes with your business. I think it's just so much more important, if I can share from me my own experience, that you move forward and you just try. And with trying, sometimes, just like in motherhood, there's no recipe. It's just like a sauce, like creating your own sauce every single time. The same thing goes with business. Sometimes it's going to work out great. Sometimes you're going to fail, but it doesn't matter. The thing is to really put yourself out there and keep trying. I have a high school diploma. I always love to share this. I have a high school diploma. I have lived out of my car. I have such a blessed life now. I am so grateful to the universe, to everything, source, everything out there that has made this possible for me. And I know with being a mother that, all I can do is do my best. And I am going to do business the way it functions for my life, right? Because we got into business originally to create this life for ourselves. And somehow we lose part of that because we think we have to be like everybody else, right? And oh, well, they're doing this, we have to do that, and we have to do this, and we have to do that. And that's the thing, like the whole word of we have to, we don't got to do anything. We have to be the person that we want to be. We get to do the things that person that wants to be that will be doing, so we can have the type of lifestyle that we have. I started my dream schedule in 2018 when it wasn't popular to work part-time and when it wasn't popular to charge, the much as we get to charge as we do today. I started becoming an educator and started really focusing on my career in education when I was a beauty school student without an iPhone. I started with an Android. My videos were not the best. My videos are still not the best. But I have learned through trial and error that's more important, just like in motherhood, that we try our best. The more that we try our best and experiment and see how it goes within business to fit our lifestyle, the better that we can be, the better that we can blossom. And remember, there's somebody out there for you. There's the dream clientele out there for you that are looking for you. Just like I am not for everybody. And I don't want to be for everybody, right? It's the same thing with, being in business, just like in motherhood, that it is a gift to be in business. It is a gift to be a business owner. It's a gift to be a mother. And none of us have it all figured out. All of us learn through trial and error, even through some of the biggest educators and biggest people in the industry that we look up to. It has been a lot of trial and error and learning things and being willing to try things. And sometimes they don't work out and sometimes they do. And one of the, to end this episode, I want to end this with this beautiful lesson that I learned last week was that marketing is being a scientist. Marketing is experimenting. Use your business for growth. Just all you have to do, and I know it sounds so simple, and sometimes we don't want to do the simple things, right? Because we're like, there's no freaking way. All we have to do is keep doing what's working. Look at your social media, handle, whatever you would like to be at. What is working? And I'm sharing that because one of the things that I'm doing to grow in one of my social media platforms is nothing that pros are saying. I just tried it out and it's working for me, for my business, and I'm starting to grow more. I'm like, but that's what I mean. It's experimenting. You need to experiment with what's the type of content that you've put out there that people love. What's the type of thing that people love to hear from you and see from you, and that's getting clients inside the door, that's getting you noticed by other brands that you want to work with. And as you can see, I have my boss down there. Her name is Emma, and she is calling my name. So as I record this episode from the staircase, I want to say I have so much love for you. Happy Mother's Day if it pertains to you. And remember, just like in motherhood, we're trying our best. You're doing an amazing job. Remember to give yourself that love as well, because I know as mothers, we can be so hard on ourselves, but those little ones love us. Those little ones are part of our life. And there is no one way fits all in motherhood. And with being a mother and in business, remember, it's what's going to fit your lifestyle best. And when you are at your best, everything around you can grow as well. So much love. I will be back with episode number 3 of the mobile salon series. Part 3 will be released tomorrow. And I will talk to you then. Bye, love.